What is up, guys? Welcome back to another cast of Stormgate. My name is Ghost. Welcome back to Stormgate Central. Today I've got a bit of a treat for you guys. It's not all too often at the high level of Stormgate that you see a Vanguard versus Vanguard, because most of the top players are playing Infernal at the moment, so it's far more likely you're going to see some Infernal versus Vanguard action, or even Infernal versus Infernal. But here down in the bottom left we have Probe as he boosts his bobs here and goes to build the barracks at his ramp. And up in the top right, we have Mixu. Now, both of these players have been playing a fair amount of Stormgate. I know that Mixu is Finnish. He is a Zerg StarCraft 2 player. And we all know what Zerg StarCraft 2 players from Finland are like, don't we, guys? But honestly, I don't really know all too much about him. Apart from that, I haven't really casted Mixu before, but he is a little bit younger than Probe. Probe, of course, hailing from Australia, and I gotta say, I always feel for Probe whenever he plays, because this tournament here, which is the Alpha Navigators Cup, which I will speak about in a moment, was played at around 3 PM. So I think for Probe, that's sort of 5 in the morning, something like that. 3 PM afternoon is sort of 5 in the morning, something Australian time. So some awful ungodly hour there. In any case, this one was from the weekend. It's the Alpha Navigators Cup, which is put together by a really nice guy called Adico. And I will leave links to everything down below, because he is doing tremendous things for the grassroots tournament scene in Stormgate, making sure that, you know, players are there, making sure that there's a prize pool for people, and even including people in the Discord like myself, and putting up the replays there so we can cast some really nice high-level games of Stormgate for you guys. So Probe has gone for the Lancer approach here, whilst Mixu has gone for this very popular dog style. Of course, that style was somewhat nerfed recently. You used to be able to get the upgraded dogs out with 25 Luminite and 25 Therium, and I believe the research time was 30 seconds. It is now 60 seconds, so the dogs come out certainly a little bit slower than they used to. But as you can see, Mixu is making it work here, and it's pretty popular. Probe is going to have to be careful. He has his Lancers out on the map, but that wall off looks pretty solid. At the moment, of course, we've got the barracks kind of glitching into the ramp here. This is by no means finished, but I do believe this wall off is absolutely solid, so no dogs are going to find their way up into the ramp there. Oh, what was that? Something gone down in Mixu. Okay, he was just salvaging the biolab there. That's pretty standard, to be honest with you. Always good idea to get those 100 minerals back, and then you can use them to go into your expansion. It's a very interesting play here, you know. We've got both of these players just going absolutely ham with the harassment. Probe is now poking in with the Lancers. I've noticed that with Probe, he really, really does love his Lancers. And, I mean, these dogs, they will do absolutely nothing to those Lancers. They really cannot engage those Lancers at all, even though they have that upgrade. It only works against light units, and the Lancers here, I believe they have heavy armor. More importantly, they have this special upgrade that reduces all incoming damage by 3, and so the dogs really aren't going to do much against them at all here. But Mixu, it looks like he is going to have enough to defend. On the flip side, the Lancers, they don't really do too much damage, so whilst this is extremely annoying in Mixu's base, he is going to have enough to defend, making really nice use of the sentry post here, putting the Bob Worker in there and repairing his dogs up, doing a really nice job macroing them back and forth. For those of you who weren't aware, the dogs are actually a mechanical unit, so they can be repaired and not healed. But the amount of Lancers here is getting a little bit scary. You know, you can micro Lancers incredibly well in this game, and if you lance all 5 of those glaives, well, I suppose Lancers, on a single target, you'd be surprised how quickly they can go down. So how is Mixu really going to hold off from this? Is he going to just jam them in there? Is he going to sacrifice a few dogs and a few bobs and just take them out? That is exactly what he's doing. He's even got one of his own Lancers out, so really nice move by Mixu here. He is going to lose the odd dog here and there, but remember, 2 dogs are the same cost as 1 Lancer, so I think Probe is definitely going to come out behind on this one. Like, I really like this move, man, just microing the dogs back to the repair turret here. Really, really, really solid micro from Mixu there, and a pretty solid hold. As he takes his second, and he's now taking down the tree, so it looks like he's gearing up to take his third over there. Is this the biokinetic slab coming back again, along with the second barracks? So I guess he really needed the Luminite there from the biokinetic slab, because the biolab, it does take a considerable amount of time to actually build, you know. It's not insignificant. Back home here for Probe, we have the biolab upgrading away, most likely that Lancer upgrade for the kinetic redirection. And Mixu having a little poke into the third here, just seeing what's happening. No base there, he says, so now is he going to creep round to the other third and see if anything's happening in that direction? He doesn't really have to attack in this position. Mixu is in a pretty nice place. He's already taken his third, so as long as Probe isn't getting a third, then he probably thinks to himself, okay, we're good to go. He's also got these upgraded dogs still, so even though you get rid of the biolab, you still keep all of your upgrades, and he's going to do a run by whenever he can here into the main. Is that actually a solid enough block that the dogs can't get through there? I'm not certain. I mean, his Exos can get through there, so I think that means the dogs can get through as well. And Mixu is going to be keeping that pressure up. Probe knows that those dogs are outside there, and if they get into his main, especially if he doesn't have the Bob overcharge available to defend with, then he's just used it. As I say that, then that could be very dangerous. So Probe is going to mosey on out now and take his own third. But we'll see how this all shapes up. Guys, if you do enjoy the casts here on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, by the way. I'm not just doing casts either. I do plan to do lots of guides on Stormgate in the future. But, you know, at the moment, the game hasn't even entered early access. There are a whole bunch of tier 3 units to come for all of the races, not to mention an entire third race in and of itself. So it kind of seems somewhat pointless, I guess, to make too many guides on build orders and things like that at the moment. But those will definitely be coming in the future. At the moment, our main focus is sort of on news, so that's what we're keeping you guys up to date with. Those dogs, though, I mean, not only are they great for some very early game harassment here, but they are just really incredible for creeping. All of these creeps, I believe, are light. Is he going to go and try and get some of these Exos down? Okay, he's just going to try and grab the resource camps there from Probe. The dogs will rip those Exos apart, though. So how many Exos do we have here? 5, 6, 7 Exos, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Probe as well. So army size here is pretty equal, except for the fact that Mixu has these all-important dogs. So if he does do a bit of a flanking maneuver, it gets those dogs in behind the Exos of Probe, they will absolutely shred those Exos. How many racks are we on here? We've got 2 there, we've got 4, we have 5 racks for Mixu, and it looks like there are a couple more going down for Probe, so it looks like he is going to be moving on up to 5 racks as well, although, you know, Mixu already has his out, so he's actually taken a cheeky 4th here. Interesting position. I don't really take this one a lot. I would have thought he would take this position here, which is a little bit more of a defensive position, but maybe he just finds it easier to defend, I guess, given the position of his third here and the natural. And he's making sure, once again, you know, just making sure that he's staying ahead of Probe. He's not going to overcommit here. He knows that as the game goes along and the macro game plays out, he's just going to end up winning and, well, I don't want to say a move into Probe, but, you know, sort of almost. Sometimes you would be surprised in RTS games, not just Stormgate, but other games, how quickly or how often it is that you can just go and kill them. Just move into their base and simply overwhelm them with numbers. And if you play a really great macro game, that's what you're able to do. But Probe is going to be moving out with 3 medtechs here, which I don't believe Mixu has any of. He is keeping these dogs back, though. I really like this. He's either going to do a run by... Oh, this is beautiful. Going to be getting all of the bobs. Sorry about the mouse cursor there, guys. I'm not sure where it went. But the overcharge just happens to be up for Probe. This wasn't planned. He only overcharged here so we could build the command post. But this actually turned out pretty nicely for him. But that is going to cause Probe to fall back here and rethink whatever he was going for. Unfortunately, he has forgotten a medtech. Poor old Australian lady there. So this is a little bit annoying now for Mixu because he has gone for this expansion. You can see that Probe has gone for what I would say is the more normal choice of the two. He actually can get some hits on this Luminite mine here in the workers, so if we get to the late game here, guys, and we end up seeing Atlases, this could be a lot of trouble. But what is this? Mixu is moving into Probe's third here with a handful of Exos and some Lancers, and there is really nothing back home to defend except for a few Lancers. The army now going to move up, but I think Mixu is going to have to tuck tail and run from this. It is just not enough there. In fact, Probe has a rather overwhelming army. Those, oh my god, what is happening here, though? He's coming into the natural as well with a two-prong. I take it back, guys. I was about to say that Probe has the superior army, but I didn't realize where the other half of Mixu's army is. Really, really nice move there, and now he's going to continue to pressure this base as well, and this is not going to be enough for Probe to hold this. This is gone. This base is dead. Not sure about... Oh, man, the mouse in this game. It needs to stay under control. It's a work in progress, guys. He's got a Sentinel out now as well, so, you know, Sentinels, they increase the movement speed of your entire army, so that's only going to make things worse for Probe. Mixu is going to continue to move around the map, and GG, Probe leaves the game. Mixu wins game number 1 here on Broken Ground Hinterlands. So well done to him, and let's move on to game number 2. Alrighty, guys, welcome into game number 2. This one is going to be on Secluded Grove. And in the bottom left here, in the blue chunks, we have Mixu, the terror from Finland. And up in the top right, we have Probe playing in the red, the sleepy Australian. Most likely sleepy. Again, I really feel for Probe. Poor old Probe, always having to play at these ungodly of hours. So, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last game, but this is going to be a best of 3, guys. And this is actually the lower bracket semi-final, or the lower bracket final, I should say. I'm also going to cast the upper bracket final for you guys, and then the grand finals that will be between whoever wins this game here and the one that I'm going to cast next. So keep your eyes peeled for the channel. Once again, feel free to hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on any future videos. So the question is, what are we going to see these players do here? Are we going to see the same sort of bio build out of Mixu? Is this a biokinetic slab? It is indeed. So I fully assume that he's going to be going for those upgraded dogs early on here. And you guys can see just how this build works out. You just put the 1 worker on the Luminite, and now you can see once he has the 50 Luminite, he's now transferring it back to... once he has the 50 Therium, I should say, he's transferring it back to the Luminite. He gets the upgrade, and then once he's got the dogs out, if he needs the extra Luminite, he can salvage this. So the Vanguard can actually salvage buildings for 100% of their cost, which is really, really nice. In the meantime, it looks like Probe is going for the same opener again here, just securing himself a base with a Lancer there, or rather a Warlock, I should say. So he's scouted Mixu, of course. He sees the barracks and the biolab coming down, and he thinks, okay, we're not getting to fast expand in this game. I think Vanguard players are fairly safe to fast expand against Infernal players, because the Infernal way of playing at the moment is that they also like to fast expand, or you know, I would say early expand, maybe not fast expand, but do a lot of creeping around the map, right? So they're not really going to be attacking your base. On the other hand, the Vanguard players, as you can see, great example by Mixu here, they get those pesky dogs out on the map so early, and if you've gotten up a fast expansion, especially if it's expansion first, you can be in grave danger. Now, where are these dogs headed to? Okay, he's just scouting around at the moment, taking out some of these creeps with the Virillium Claws upgrade here. But more importantly, I would almost say, he's also checking for some of the resources I should say, that spawn on this map. So, for those of you who aren't aware, this map has a unique ability, or a unique trait, where you get these Luminite and Therium nodes that spawn, as Mixu is forced to throw down a command post in his expansion here and defend back home with the Bobs and a few dogs. But he's not too scared of these Lancers. I think these dogs are going to be coming back home to defend here. And Probe sends his single dog here just to make sure he can see what's coming there. So he is going to spot these dogs coming, but... Oh, wait a minute. Mixu doesn't care. He's just going to keep on... he's going to keep on checking in places, but... Okay, he finally brings in the dogs here. Going to take out these Lancers. And, again, doing the same tactic, man. He's not putting a Lancer in here. No. He's just putting a Bob in there for the repair, and he is going to micro these dogs. I know that Mixu makes this look easy, but microing dogs in this game is far from easy. Believe me, I play Vanguard almost all the time exclusively, and I'm terrible at it. But Mixu is an absolute god at it, and I think that's why he's just coming out on top at the moment here. At least it did in the last game. So the Bob overcharge again here. And, you know, the bad thing about Lancers is they can't really run away. You know, he doesn't have the kinetic redirect upgrade yet, so even though they're getting attacked, they're not going to be able to run away. And this is a lot of Luminite that Probe is losing here. There are certainly a few dogs have gone down for Mixu, so, you know, let's not forget about that. But is this actually going to be enough to hold, though? The dogs are pretty low right now, and there is 6 Lancers. But 1 Lancer comes out for Mixu. He pops it in a sentry post. And is that possibly going to be enough to stop this aggression from Probe? I mean, 3 of these Lancers are very, very low here. So it looks like that is the case. As Probe moves out to take his own expansion here. And we're going to see what these players are going to transition into. So it looks like Mixu did indeed salvage the biokinetics lab. You know, I still do wonder what he's using that Luminite for when he salvages it. It must be going into something. It's probably going into the expansion, I would imagine. But I guess he's in no stress to get it back again. So he spots the Lancers here. Great move by Probe, taking out the health camp just to get his Lancers healed back up again. Remember, you don't necessarily need to upgrade your command post to a central command and tech into medtechs. You can always just go and take one of those health camps. Works just as well. So Probe is going to be denying the vision camp. Always a great move there, although he doesn't have his own vision camp. Mixu doesn't really seem to care, honestly. I mean, if it was me playing right now, I would be extremely wary of 7, 8, 9, 10 Lancers in and around my base. But Mixu, he is as cool as a cucumber, man. He's got a couple of hedgehogs out here just in the nick of time. And there is... Oh, the kinetic redirect is upgrading right now for Probe. If he had that, he may be able to challenge these hedgehogs. But without it, I really don't think he stands a chance. Especially not with Mixu's micro, man. He's just too good. So interestingly here, Mixu is going to be playing mech this game. So that's cool. I'm glad we're not going to see another bio versus bio game. Although, you know, bio versus bio, definitely very interesting as well. But I think right now in Stormgate, one of the interesting things with the Vanguard is that you can see all of these playstyles come out of them, right? You've got mech, you've got bio, you've also got air, right? Because Atlases are sorry, not Atlases, Hornets, I should say, are rather effective as well. Whereas when it comes to the Infernals, you can either go into Magmadons or you can go into Hellborn. I feel that it's a little bit more homogenization, but of course, that faction have yet to be fleshed out. Mixu is just going to be taking everything here. Anything he can get his hands on. Bobs, dogs, hedgehogs, and he's going to put a stop to this attack. So I feel like Probe only having the Lancers out at the moment is kind of his downfall. Lancers are extremely good, but they're not good for that long, and they're certainly not that great by themselves. They really need the Exo support and the Medtech support, and right now, Probe simply doesn't have that. What is at home? A couple of barracks here, 3rd barracks in the main, and he has taken his 3rd, so instead of upgrading and going into tier 2 and adding in Medtechs or something like that, it seems that Probe has just decided to, I want to say, be a little bit greedy here and take a 3rd. I mean, I think considering the fact that Mixu has a bunch of hedgehogs out on the map here, but the dogs are coming in from Probe here, and this is a really nice move. I guess he has the Beryllium Claws. Of course, the hedgehogs do have light armor, and if there is something that can chase down hedgehogs, it is going to be those scouts. He gets one more. Is he going to get another? No. He is going to survive with around 7 hedgehogs there. So, you know, Probe, he's now sitting quite vulnerable on the map with this 3rd that is open to attack now from these hedgehogs. And it looks like Mixu is going to continue to pump out hedgehogs more and more. This actually reminds me a little bit of what we saw in the last Stormgate build, where the hedgehogs were even more powerful than they are now. They had greater range, They had more damage, faster reload. They were a little bit absurd, honestly. In fact, they outranged almost every unit in the game. And it looks like Probe is going to be sneaking an expansion in the corner. I really, really like this. A lot of the time you will see players contesting over this central expansion here with both of the Luminite mines and the 2 Therium patches. But Probe, he's going to go sneak one up. But unfortunately, Mixu is just absolutely all over it, man. It's like, how did he know? Did he maybe see a unit move up there? I don't know, man. Maybe it's just player's intuition, but like, he could have just as easily scouted down this way. Although I guess this is Probe's side of the map, so it sort of makes sense. He can cut through these trees and have a little bit of easier access there. Is Probe going to snag this vision camp here? Nope. Mixu moves in to defend that. He wants to make sure that he gets this for himself. He's not going to be handing out easy advantages to Probe here. Not at all. So Probe has finally gotten some exos in the mix. It looks like we don't yet have a central command for Probe, so he isn't able to make medtechs. But all these exos, man, there just isn't enough here. And how much? There's way... Oh, but there's a Vulcan as well. There is just way too many hedgehogs here, dude. He is not going to be able to hold this. I think this game is just pretty much done. There's a Vulcan out as well, which absolutely eat exos, dogs, and anything else that is lightly armored for breakfast. And Probe has left the game. GG. So this series is going to go to Mixu, taking it 2-0 over Probe. And next game is going to be the losers. No, sorry, not the losers. The winners final. And then we're going to go into the grand finals. So I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. Stay tuned to the channel for more. And I'll see you guys in the next one.